Tail Talk Show. I am your host, Drew Holtgreave, and alongside me, as always, right here, is Dan Szewczak. Dan, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic, Drew. You know, we finally made the jump to video, so now people can actually see what we look like.
Yeah,
I don't know if I
feel about that one. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that either.
But we made it. But we made it to our first video podcast, Drew. You know, come on, just come on.
Yo, high five.
Come on.
Yo, high five.
That was terrible, but it's all right. We did it.
I thought that was pretty good.
But yeah, so welcome back to the Red Tail Talk Show, everybody. In our new video format, I am just in my apartment in Connecticut. Drew, where are you coming from today?
I'm coming to you from the great state of Missouri. I've been quarantined here at home, so sadly, I am very far away from you.
It's all right. I know once you get the chance, you'll come and join all of us back up here in the Nutmeg State. But, you know, besides working, because, you know, we are still working, still putting out some great content for Hartford Hawks, I've been playing a lot of old video games, you know, a lot of old NCAA games. I've been playing some NCAA baseball. I got basketball going, recreating some Hartford Hawks dynasties. And, you know, I'm trying to do what can't be done right now and just actually playing some sports and passing the time.
It's interesting. How deep are you going into this? Do you got like rosters?
Oh, I got our entire rosters from this year on these games. So, you know, I'm not going to go that far in depth and do everybody on every team, but I got our Hartford Hawks in there. So, you know, I don't know if you guys want us to, you know, start a new series where we play some video games for you. Just that's something me and Drew would definitely be interested in.
Yeah, let us know. I think Dan's put a lot into this for the Hartford basketball team, at least.
Oh, definitely. That was the first project I did. What have you been doing, Drew? How have you been handling this whole situation?
Yeah, Dan. Haven't been handling it too well because sports are a big part of my life, as yours as well. And so I've just been trying to get into sports somehow. I've been watching, you know, replays of old sporting events. For those that can see, I'm a Blues fan, so I've definitely been watching the 2019 Stanley Cup final on repeat. And to add to that, I bought a pair of rollerblades the other day.
You going to start playing some roller hockey, or?
I have been in my garage. I actually ran into our bikes in the back corner that we stored.
Okay.
It's a work in progress. I haven't played since I was 8, so been working on my skating and stuff.
See, everybody, that's the joy you get from a video podcast now in quarantine, us being at our homes. You never know what's going to happen.
Anyways, so we are here to bring you a video version of the podcast. And Dan, tell them what we are going to be bringing to them.
Yeah, so we're just going to, you know, chit-chat for a little bit before we bring on Paige Fedak for you guys from the Hartford softball team. We'll get to see how she's been doing in these troubling times after the cancellation of the spring season and what she's been up to in quarantine. And then we're going to play a couple of fun games with her, which is going to be a new staple of the podcast. And Drew, overall, we're just going to keep everybody updated on what's going on, how people are doing, and just have some fun.
Yeah, and we're moving to weekly now with this video edition. We're moving weekly. So each week on Friday, we're going to be bringing on a new student athlete. And as Dan said, interviewing them and playing some games. We got some cool segments lined up. So we hope you enjoy those.
Yep, so enough about us, Drew. We know that's not why people listen to these podcasts. So let's just jump right into that interview with Paige.
We'd like to welcome in now Paige Fedak from Hartford softball, sophomore infielder. Paige, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
And would you care to tell the viewers where you're calling in from?
My house in New Jersey.
New Jersey? We're at New Jersey.
Glen Gardner, like Central Jersey.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So Paige, you guys were able to get a couple of games in this season, going 6-4. Just tell us a little bit about how you guys started, and maybe you personally, how you felt the season was going.
Actually, I thought the season was going to go like really well. Like we had high hopes, and I really thought like we definitely could have made a run in playoffs for the championship. Sucks that it was cut short because we were just like we had our last series at Manhattan and won both those games in the last inning. So we really were coming together as a team and showing what we had.
Yeah, like you guys were just getting ready to go to St. John's for a tournament that weekend, playing some really good teams. And then unfortunately, the NCAA and the America East comes out saying the rest of spring sports are canceled. Just how did Coach Churchill kind of break that news to you guys? And just what was your reaction to hearing that your season was over?
Well, we were all like thinking that it could be a possibility, and we practiced that day on, I think it was like a Thursday. We had a practice while Coach Churchill was in a meeting about what was going to happen for the weekend. And she came out at the end and told us that St. John's was canceled and she'll let us know about like the rest of spring break, because we were all expecting to still be on campus, like practicing ready for our other tournaments. And then later in the day, we had a meeting in our locker room, and that's when she broke the news to us that like our whole season was canceled. Mm-hmm. Kind of really hurts because we worked so hard and then it's just gone.
Yeah, it is a tough pill to swallow, especially when you guys were really having a great start to your season, and we were all looking forward to seeing what you could do later on for the rest of the regular season, then into playoff play. But we do overcome and adapt. We're now in this weird time of being in quarantine and everything. So let's just talk a little bit about what you're doing. So Drew, do you have some quarantine corner questions?
Corner here, and just kind of tell the listeners, the audience, what you've been doing to pass the time during this quarantine.
So I've been doing a lot of pretty much like busy work. Like I go outside a lot, I run, I try to stay active because we're playing next year, like still have to be ready, and trying to play as much softball as I can.
Yeah, so do you have like a home gym? Or are you one of the lucky ones, or do you have like a makeshift gym to keep yourself in shape?
I have a couple of dumbbells in the basement that I use, but it's mostly a bunch of body weight stuff, a lot of running.
So yeah, you gotta do what you can, especially with all the gyms being closed. You kind of have to just use what you can. Have there been any other hobbies that you have that you've been kind of taking up more now that you have, I guess, some more free time on your hands?
Not really. Just binge watching some Netflix shows.
Oh, which shows?
I just finished the Tiger King.
Oh, see, Drew hasn't seen Tiger King yet. I loved it. I just finished it yesterday, actually. You got to talk him into watching this.
You definitely need to watch that.
Okay, I'll have to put it on the list since, we all have free time now. That might be one of the shows I have to watch.
Yeah, definitely.
So have you been doing a lot more cooking now that you're at home, or have you been having a lot more home cooked meals? So is there a favorite thing that you like to make, or is there something that you just have been looking forward to eating a lot now that you're home?
Really the only thing I can cook is pasta, but my sister comes home quite a bit now and cooks a lot. Mm-hmm. Like to eat her meals.
What's your favorite meal?
She just cooked salmon the other day. That was really good. So, yeah.
Yeah. So to fill the void for sports, are you like a big watcher of sports, or do you just like to play sports?
I don't really like watching them because they're too long. I feel like they get boring very quickly. But I do watch a lot of like highlights, like compilations. Mm-hmm. So.
You got any teams? Any favorite sports teams?
I like the Yankees.
Okay.
And for like college softball, I like to watch like Oklahoma State, mm-hmm. Florida, Ole Miss.
Maybe get to play them one day, once sports resumes, of course, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
New, I guess, viral thing is TikTok, right? Are you into TikTok at all?
Yeah, I spend like hours on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Drew's gotten into TikTok lately. I haven't gotten into it yet. Probably won't, but
I mean, I edit videos, so I like that this is kind of a cool way to edit videos, more of a simple way. You got Are you like a person who likes to make TikToks about your dog or about your exercise? Or what's like your go-to for TikToks?
I don't really make TikToks. I like watching them. I have made
them? What's your favorite one then?
I like the funny ones. Like, I don't know.
Like where they're like lipping or lip singing to the audio or something like that?
Yeah, or just like this one lady was on there the other day complaining about her husband. It's so funny.
People are pretty funny. Yeah, it's very interesting. So, Dan, you got any other?
Yeah, no, I actually saw the softball team put out a TikTok the other day. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we got everybody on our team, even like our coaches involved, and we were throwing a softball, and it like made it look like you were throwing it to like every person on the team and like all their like at their homes.
Mm-hmm.
Came together really well.
Yeah, it definitely did. It was a cool concept. That was a fun one to watch.
Yeah, and Coach Churchill got mad in that, I think. Do we know who she was mad at?
Well, I heard a rumor that she wanted to pretend to yell at me while she was throwing the clipboard, because she has thrown the clipboard in the game sometimes.
I was watching it too. She broke the clipboard, but I think it stayed intact.
Yeah, I think it stayed intact.
Now we'd like to move into a segment we like to call Stump the Szewczak. So Dan has previously done this challenge. We're going to see if you can beat him, Paige. And then also on the side, we're going to keep track of all of the athletes on a leaderboard. So we'll see where you fare a couple weeks down the road with some of the other athletes we have on. But basically, we're going to give you 20 seconds. And you're going to name as many states as you can. States was the category that you chose. And I will get my timer ready. And Dan, you're going to keep track, right?
I will. And Drew, just count us down. Paige, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, New Jersey, New Hampshire, South Carolina, North Carolina, Maine, Michigan, Hawaii, Idaho.
Time. How many did you get there?
That was 15. 15.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Sadly, Dan is like a wizard with states. When we did this, he sounded like one of those auctioneer guys. So Dan got 30. So you didn't beat Dan, but 15 is a very good number. So you're going to be up first on the leaderboard.
And I think that's an impressive bar to set. I don't think a lot of people are going to be able to beat that. So I'd say it was a great effort.
Well, yeah, we did serials, and I only got like 9 of them. So. Because we've been playing around with these games. So that's a good start. And thank you for playing, and thank you for joining us for this episode of the Red Tail Talk Show. And stay safe and stay healthy out there. And thanks again.
Thank you for having me.
Once again, we'd like to thank Paige Fedak, sophomore infielder from Hartford softball, for joining the show. We had a great time, did we not, Dan?
That's right, we did, Drew. It was a great first video edition of the Red Tail Talk Show. We hope you all enjoyed it. And Drew, just remind everybody at home how they can listen to us and now watch us, since we switched to video as well.
Yes, we are still coming to you for audio on our podcast platforms, but the video will also be out there on YouTube. And let us know in the comments for that video podcast what you guys think. But we are now moving to once a week. So every Friday now at 9 a.m., you're going to get a episode of the podcast, whether you want to watch it video version on YouTube or stick with us on the podcast audio platforms.
That's right, Drew. So catch us in 1 week time next Friday with another student athlete as we come back to you with the Red Tail Talk Show. And as always, Hawk Nation,
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.